Hey, good evening, and welcome to Rick's Retirement Journey. It's Friday, the 5th of September. It's a little warm, but not that bad. Just kind of kicking back on my deck here, and I think the breeze is keeping the mosquitoes away, so I'm not really too stressed out about that right there. But it's been a great week. I made a video a while back, and I completely, yeah, must have erased it. For those that may not know, I recently started a part-time gig at a bookstore, and I think I worked there, or I didn't. I went there 3 times a week this past week, and had a great time. Great crew, great training, great customers, learning a lot, shelving books, running the register, helping customers find books, things like that. Then once the store shuts down, we do the cleanup, put stuff away. We do the recovery and finding places that finding the stuff when putting it back where it needs to go, and cleaning out the bathrooms, and it's just normal stuff. But so far so good. I've had a pretty good time. So I'll save more later. And I think I did do a short video just earlier this week. I may have tossed it out there about walking through the bookstore and stuff like that. But excuse me for a second. All right. Well, hey, I wanted to get back and talk about this sheet right here. Again, it's titled Turn Off the Television, 101 Substitute Activities. I've been kind of going through this right here, and just talking about it and things like that. So I'm getting ready to start off on part 7. So the first one in part 7 is go on a family trip or a historical excursion. Depending on where you live, there are probably many historical sites that are around your home, around your city, your town, your village, your hamlet. Living where I do in near Fredericksburg, Virginia, we have Chancellorsville. We have the Battle of Fredericksburg. North west of here is Manassas, Virginia. Battle of Bull Run and stuff like that. If you listen to Steve's Retirement Corner, he's a little bit south of me. I think he's a little bit southeast of Richmond or something like that. But even in that area, there's a lot of historical sites that we can go to. And I think Steve may have mentioned visiting some of the presidential homes and things like that. So hey, break out the map. Hit up Google. Stop by your local library. Find out what historical sites are in your area, and go out there and visit them just to see what's going on. Learn something that you didn't know about, and about history. Let's go on to the next one. The next one is, let me see. Build a fort. Okay, if you've got grandchildren, if you've got young grandchildren, going out there and build a fort. The best materials, in my opinion, to build a fort out of are old cardboard boxes. Go to the store, Lowe's, Home Depot, and by the way, I'm not being endorsed by Lowe's or Home Depot on this particular video. And ask them, hey, you have any old washer machine boxes or refrigerator boxes? And bring them home. Get with your grandchildren, build some forts, cut out some doors, cut out some windows, tape some stuff together, have a great time. So build a fort with your grandkids. I think that would be pretty neat. I haven't done that in a long time. As you can see, it's a breezy day, so it would be a great time to construct a kite and fly it. This is more kind of a springtime thing, but I mean, even on a day like today, if you've got some materials and you have somewhat, some type of engineering skills, yeah, go ahead and build yourself a kite and get yourself some string if you've got some fishing line or whatever, and hey, fly the kite. Just be careful that it doesn't crash in your neighbor's yard, because then you got to go over there and you get it, and they're saying, well, why are you flying a kite? because you don't have anything else better to do right now. So, hey, fly a kite if you want to. This is something I like. And again, I do this with my grandchildren from time to time. Well, I used to do it with my grandchildren from time to time. They're a little bit older now, so I don't do it as much. Fly frisbee. You go to the beach, fly a frisbee. Go to the park, fly a frisbee. If you've got a dog that loves frisbee, fly a frisbee. So going out there and fly that flying saucer or flying pie tin or whatever they used to be called way back when. This one's not too bad. There are a few of these facilities in the area. Go visit a nursing home. I say that because there are a lot of people in there that get no visitors. When we had family members that were in the nursing home, we would always make it a point to visit them. But it's kind of a sad situation if there's somebody there and their family members live pretty far away, and they have no family members to come visit them, and all they really see are just the attendants that are there and in the particular nursing home and things like that. So maybe you and your church group could go, if you happen to belong to a church group, going out there and just visit a nursing home and visit some of the people that are there. One thing I'd like to do this year on Veterans Day, which is November 11th, is stop by the local place that we have here in our town and just ask the people there. I may even go and ask before that and see if there are any veterans there and maybe what branch of service they may have, served in, and maybe get some mementos from their particular branch of service and just go on back and maybe talk to them for a little bit. So, but yeah, go to a nursing home, visit some people, and make a lonely person smile for that day. Let me see. Make a collage out of pictures from old magazines. What would you do with it after that? This is pretty cool. And again, if you've got younger grandchildren and maybe there's some books or some old magazines that you have, and maybe you can make a theme type collage with them or something like that. Or if you're one of these people that like to look at kitchens or bathrooms or homes or gardening or flowers or whatever the case may be, make yourself a collage. You could possibly glue it together, put it into a frame. You can hang it up instead of going to one of these many stores and spending your hard-earned cash or money. Make a collage out of some old magazines of things that you like, things that you really care about. It could be pets. Could be ocean scenes, could be forest scenes or sunsets or sunrises or something like that, or music bands. But cut some pictures out, make a collage, put it in a frame. Hey, you get yourself a photo for the wall. Babysit for new parents. Been there, done that. But if you happen to be those people that happen to have some neighbors that are young and maybe they're looking for a babysitter, and if you want to go back and experience taking care of remember what it was like to take care of your children and your grandchildren and maybe help out a neighbor or something like that, sure, by all means, go ahead and do some babysitting for some new parents that might be in the neighborhood or something like that. This next one's pretty interesting. We have a dog, and it sheds. She sheds. Not she shed like in the backyard, but she sheds. And so between my son, my wife, sometimes my granddaughter, and myself, we'll go ahead and just brush her out, and we'll end up with a big ball of hair. And she loves it though. She'll lay down on her back and let you brush her tummy and brush her legs and brush her ears and but that's great. But the one thing that she will not let me do, and we just didn't train her at a young enough age, is that she will not let me trim her nails. I tried that just the other day, and she just kind of pulled her paw back, and she kind of looked at me, and sometimes we as people, we can look at our furry friends' faces and say, "How dare you try to cut my nails?" But yeah, she wasn't having it. I thought about maybe getting a muzzle and holding her close, but I think we're just going to take her to the vet and have the vet do it, and It'll be a lot less strain. She won't hate us for for doing that to her, and just go from there. So yeah, groom your pet. Give your pet a bath. I think it's unless it's a cat. Do cats take baths? I see cats get wet, but I'm not really sure if they like baths or not. Leave it in the comments. Let me know. What's next? Yeah, I'm not doing this. Set up a lemonade stand. Unless you have grandchildren that are young enough and you can set up a lemonade stand in your neighborhood. Have fun with it. Maybe put something out on your neighborhood newsletter. We have one of those next door neighborhood type things and say, hey, my grandchildren are having a lemonade stand at such and such address. Please stop by and buy a glass. This is how much it costs. And you never know. But my recommendation is that if they do something like that, make sure they have some type of a purpose as to why they're doing it. Maybe tickets to a amusement park, or maybe tickets to a movie, or maybe they want to buy some books, or whatever the case may be. Mosquitoes are coming out. Last one for this one right here is shoot hoops with friends, play a round of horse. I haven't played horse, and I completely forgot how to do it. If you remember, hey, drop something in the comments, let me know. But yeah, I'm 60 plus years old. I don't feel like going out there and getting hurt and playing a whole heck of a lot of basketball. I might go out there with my grandsons and just shoot a few baskets here and there, but overall, I'm not going to do that. I don't feel like getting hurt. I'd rather go out there for a walk. I'm not going to run, and just see what's going on and stuff like that. But yeah, play some basketball. So those are the next 10. That was part 7. Let me jump into a different topic here. I'm not sure if a lot of you do journaling. I like to journal. I like to just jot down some notes for the day and just see what's going on and stuff like that. And so just to capture some notes, like today. Today I was watching a YouTube video. In fact, I was actually watching quite a few YouTube videos, and they were all interesting. I think I watched one of Buzz's from Buzz's Retirement Garage. I watched one from Evie. I forgot what her site is called. I watched one. Retirement is underrated, and a couple of others. But I also like to watch a eclectic bunch of YouTube videos. And now that I've started working at working at a bookstore, I've started watching some YouTube videos about books. And I cannot think of the young lady's name, but she was talking about some classics to read, and basically which ones to start with and things like that. Because there was a couple of young people that were at the bookstore the other day, and they said, well, sir, what classic books do you think that we should start with? So went to YouTube, typed in classic books to start with, and of course there's a plethora of classic books that you can start with out there. But I'm just going to name a few that she had happened to mention. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, if I'm not mistaken. Letters to a Young Poet. I forgot the author. My apologies. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. And one of hers, and I think this was the last one on her list, and A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. Those are just what she had recommended to start if you wanted to, get into some classic books. So, yeah, as far as journaling is concerned, I take all sorts of notes about different things. I'll write about the weather. I'll write about some odds and ends, just my thoughts on different things. Maybe what topics I want to talk to about on YouTube, things like that. But last thing before I close out for today, as of August 31st, I've been retired for 8 months. It has been outstanding. If you have an opportunity, go out to Buzz's Retirement Garage, and he put out a video, or it was actually a video from last December, and it's talking about talking about have a purpose in retirement, bull hockey, and I actually said that the link to that to a bunch of my high school friends, since many of them are retired. But I actually had to laugh. But Buzz gets pretty passionate about that particular topic right there, about not working anymore and things like that. And so if you're retired, do you have to have a purpose after retirement? This I'm almost done. Thanks. Do you have to have a purpose, after retirement? Some people need a purpose. Some people don't need a purpose. But I'm 8 months in. Do I have a purpose for my retirement? I have no idea. I'm just living life on a day-to-day basis. I'm having a great time. I enjoy, and this is gonna be kind of weird. I enjoy doing the dishes, cutting the grass, feeding the birds, mopping the floors, feeding the dogs, doing my laundry. Sometimes I'll stay up late at night and watch new series that my wife and I have never seen before. I still like reading. I still like writing. Now I've added on, going to a bookstore 2 or 3 times a week. So 8 months into my retirement, like Buzz says, bull hockey. I don't really have a purpose, but I am having a good time. Or maybe that is my purpose, is to not have a purpose and just to have a good time in retirement. So, hey, that's all I got for today. If you like some of the content, some of the topics that I've talked about, I ask that you like, comment, share, subscribe. Pass it on to your friends. Especially if you have some of those friends that are looking later on down the road to retire and stuff like that, and say, hey, here's a guy that is living his retirement dream. I could be traveling, I could be doing this, but you know what? I like being at home and just doing what I do. Hey, by the way, behind me, these are my tomato plants. I did have a big canopy that was here, and I finally took that down, and now the tomato plants are literally getting 7 to 8 hours of full bright sunshine every day. I keep them watered, and now I've got a whole bunch of tomatoes that are starting to grow, and they're really kind of itty bitty. I think the largest one is about this one. It's still green, so we should be having some more tomatoes here probably within a week or so, and we'll go from there. I turned the camera around, but we got all sorts of peppers and basil growing as well. So that's all I got. Have yourself a great weekend. It is a Friday, the 5th of September. And until next time, Rick out.